Hey everybody, welcome back to the Whistlepig Palace. We're in Little Rock, Arkansas this week, and as promised, here's me with some bees.
I realized last week I had my whole family on here and I never introduced them. So, introducing my Uncle Eric. He lives in Little Rock, and he is a wild man. When we were growing up, he was like all our favorite uncles because he would do crazy stuff, as evidenced by him now digging through a beehive with no protective gear.
Oh. Just stick your finger right in there. Just. Yep.
Oh, wow.
It was at this moment that I realized I couldn't sample the honey due to my protective bee bonnet.
So yeah, just
touch it.
Yeah, and then just break it down, and then there you go. That's raw honey right off the. Yeah. How's it taste?
So good.
Wow, that almost tastes alcoholic.
Really?
It's very sweet.
Yeah. It's got kind of an alcohol twang to it, doesn't it?
Twang to it.
Now, they're probably 5 days away from
being a bee. Oh, you just squashed him.
Good. Yeah.
Aren't they gonna be mad now?
Yeah, but you know what can you do? There's more comb and.
Jeez.
Anyway, let's see. If you zoom in right here, and you see these really tall cells, the bigger cells, like right there, those are drone cells, and those are the male. All bees are basically female, except they make males to mate. So.
On to Hot Springs National Park, the bee's knees of Arkansas.
What we found interesting is that most people think that Yellowstone National Park is the oldest national park, and it is. But this area was entered into a preserve by Congress in 1832, long before that was even a national park.
It's kind of like the Dells, where the government wanted to protect the local area and the resource, because it's all this hot water and it's natural water. And at the time, they thought it was like a medical cure for things.
Yeah, you actually had to have a prescription if you wanted to take a bath here. So it wasn't just open to the public. Here we are on a ranger-led tour of Fordyce Bathhouse, and we're in the men's bath area with that beautiful window.
It is no longer in operation. There is one nearby, and you'll actually see the line to get in there later on in the video. But you see this beautiful stained glass window in this large room where people can kind of socialize in their baths. The women ain't have none of that. The focus of the tour was actually for Women's History Month, and so she talked about the number of female doctors in the local vicinity and the treatment of women in the bathhouses versus the men. It was really interesting.
As we've shown in our previous videos, we're National Parks passport holders, so of course we have to get a stamp at every place that we go. And new this year, we actually also started adding the stickers, so you can buy those here too. They just jazz up the passport a little bit more, make it more colorful.
That's what we're into, a jazzy passport.
Jazzy passports! Gonna have this baby full by the time I'm 80. Okay, I just got water, 4,500-year-old water from the font. We're gonna taste it. Drink the water of my ancestors. Fresh. Minerally.
I don't think it's fresh. You could see the line in the back of that video all the way out to the sidewalk. That was the line into the bathhouse. So we skipped all that and went and did my favorite thing in a national park, which is have a picnic.
This was up by the Overlook Tower, but they had this cool spot where you could stop off, and there was picnic tables and a great view. Just had ourselves some cold water.
Here's Emily, giving main character energy, just wistfully looking over the mountains.
Well, who wouldn't with that view? You can see the entire city of Hot Springs, and you can also see the Washita.
Washita.
We Googled that.
Not Wachita.
Washita.
Worcestershire sauce. Then we went to the dog bar, not in the same day. But this is our favorite place. So you have this whole indoor space with all these TVs and then an outdoor space.
I imagine this is what parents feel like at a McDonald's play place. You know, you can sit down and enjoy a beer and your dog can just run around and leave you alone.
I'd like to own one of these one day. It's a dream.
So from one happy place to another, hiking is normally our happy place. However, on this particular trail, think it was our first ever fail. We did not reach the summit. As you can see here, we were going over a scramble for most of the way. And had we not had the dogs, we probably could have made it. But with us and the dogs, it was just too hard to get on the same footing.
Yeah, Kelty fell down. I fell down. I wish I had gotten a picture of what it looked like from the ground level. Remember how steep it was?
Yeah, I think 1 mile we were going up 500 feet again.
Yeah, it was very hard, and not all of these rocks were solid. So, like, you'd step on it and would wobble a little bit, and then you'd mostly just want to fall down. So, it was a difficult climb for all of us. Now to something a little more our spade. No, this was like so simple. It was like 2.5 miles, and it was like a flat loop. But you can see those mounds in the background. So this was like a Native American gathering place.
Yeah, and the mounds are what they found that they left behind. But so in some of them, they found things that led them to believe there might have been a banquet hall there. Some of them they think they used to tell time, like the equinoxes and the solstices.
And you can learn, so you go outside and you go through your walk, and then you come in here and you learn more about the people, and a bear scares you.
Where'd she come from?
And anyway, they even had a dumpster mound. It was cool and interesting.
You know we love a food hall, so we're going to the Ottenheimer Market Hall where we can get all the food from all the places.
Yeah. And this was in downtown Little Rock. They were having some kind of car show. It's also by the Little Rock.
Did you get a picture of that in here?
No.
Even though it's what the town's named after?
It wasn't that cool. He saw one rock. Give me a break. Tell me about your food.
Okay, so we got a little bit of the Mediterranean. We got hummus here. We got some street corn de elote, the Mexican side, the Mexican soda, and this is a grilled cheese.
Oh, grilled cheese. This is a pad thai curry. This is sushi, and we are so excited to have all of these things mixed together.
This is Central High School. It is the home of the famous Little Rock Nine. It was the first school to integrate, and it was because it was the largest school in the country.
Yeah. So looking back, this is some footage, not my footage, got it offline, but what the school looked like on that day. So they had to try to enter a couple times. Like the first time, the National Guard kept them out, and then President Eisenhower had to send somebody.
Yeah, he sent the 101st Airborne Division. That's when they actually got into the school.
But can you imagine, like, being a high school student? You just want to get a high school education, and you can't because of the color of your skin. Like, this was really powerful for me, and I'm so glad that we went to Topeka a couple weeks ago to see that exhibit as well.
The museum had stories from the students, and something that I found would be really hard is that they would have friends outside of school, and they couldn't talk to them in school or know that they were friends with them because their family would actually receive threats from people who were against integration.
Overall, both sites were really well done, and I would recommend anybody visit to learn more.
This is not the new mill. This is the old mill.
It was in the opening scene of Gone with the Wind. And if you'll remember from the beginning of this video, my Uncle Eric, he got married here. And that's actually the only time I was ever in Little Rock before we did this.
It was really pretty, though, idyllic, and they had lots of stuff to walk around and explore. I've never seen Gone with the Wind. Was it a good movie?
You have to watch. It was about strength and resilience. I don't remember it having to do anything with Arkansas, though. So.
Okay. Was the mill, were they mill grinders? We can stop talking about this now.
Anyway, it was very beautiful. It was a beautiful day. There was like a big wedding. And that's all, I can really think of to say about that. But next week we'll be in Columbia, South Carolina. Our next visit. So 2 weeks from now.
Congaree National Park. Stay tuned for more.